Hi devs, I'm Cray. In this video we are going to talk about scriptable objects. We continue our memory game. But what scriptable objects are? In the Unity documentation we can see that these are data containers. We can contain similar structures in these containers. In our game these similar structures are the cards, for example. We can store for each card a card name, a pair name, and the sprite image for the icon of the card. So let's add these images to our game and set them to 2D sprite images. It is recommended to use a number for the width and the height, which is a power of 2. It will be more optimized in our game. We create some extra folders for a cleaner structure, and we create a Scriptable Objects folder in our scripts folder. It is easier to store these datas in this way than to add all of the datas to the card generators. And create our CardSO file there. It will be derived from the Scriptable Objects Unity class, and we can delete all the mono-behavior related codes. We need 2 strings, a card name, a pair name, and the sprite image for the card icon image, as I said before. We want to instantiate these new CardSOs, but we cannot see it in the editor, in the Create menu. So we need some help from Unity, but it gives us a solution by adding a Create Asset menu line above the class definition, and we can define a file name here and the menu name. The file name will be the default name of the newly created instance of this class. Let's create a subfolder for those CardSOs. With this line added to our script, we can create our CardSOs from the Create menu. We can add our card name, the pair name, and we can choose one of our images. We can see that there are a lot of images, so we need for all of those images to create a CardSO. It will take out some time, but let's spin it up. As we can see, there are a lot of images here, so to be exact, there is 30 icons in the folder, so we need 15 pairs of cards. So let's create all of them. As you can see, I use these numbers to order our cards, to see the pairs next to each other. In the game we need all of these CardSOs, so it would be beneficial to have a collection which contains all of them. We create a card collection that holds only a list of CardSOs, and we can add the Create Asset menu as well for this class, because we need an instance of this as well. We name it a card collection, and we give it a menu name as well, and put it in the same subfolder as the CardSOs before. we create an instance of this collection, and we can add all of the CardSOs to this, and we can lock our inspector and add all of the CardSOs to the right hand side inspector panel. In our game, we need to differentiate our settings depend on a difficulty setting. So we need an enum to store these difficulties, or to give us a way to differentiate between them. It will be an enum called difficulty. We have 3 types of it: an easy, a normal, and a hard, and we give them a number value to be more specified later in the development. And with this enum, we can create game data as well. In this game data, we can store or kind of preset all of the settings for our game based on the difficulty. In this game data, beneath the difficulty, to know which difficulty datas are these. We need the rows and columns to set the card grid when we start the new game. We need a background image, which will be the card's background. It will be different based on the difficulty. And we need these preferred top padding and the spacing, which will be set as well to the card grid layout when we start the new game. And of course, we need the create asset menu above the class definition to give us a way to instantiate this class as well. We need 3 of this class: an easy, a normal, and a hard. And as we talked, as we said earlier, and we can give us some hint in the inspector with these header labels, and we can write this in the code, and in the inspector we will see it with bold text messages that to know what kind of variables are those below this header. And the easy, we have 4 rows and 3 rows and 4 columns. We add the background image and we add some padding and spacing as well. And we create a normal difficulty data. We set the difficulty to normal and set it to 4 rows and 5 columns. Set the background image, the normal one, and set a padding and spacing as well. And we did this for the last time for the hard game data. Set it to hard and it will be 5 rows and 6 columns, and the hard background image and some padding and spacing as well. Create a folder for these game datas, and now it's much cleaner in our scripts folder. Now, last time we add this yellow color to the text panel, and now we want to create a color palette for our game. So let's create it and name it 1 through pairing. It's only available in this project. Now, if we set a hexacode in this color palette, and in the left bottom side we click on this white bordered rectangle, we can add the color to our color palette. We add a black color for our texts and 3 brownish color for our UI text panels and menu items. And the base color of our game will be some kind of pink. To be exact, it will be 3 pink color. And we can use these colors in the menu as well, and for pop-up texts and so on. So that's it. And every time we want to choose a color, we don't need to write down the hexadecimal code. We can just pick one from these bottom left corner rectangles, and there will be in our project as long as we set this color palette. In the next video we are going to talk about the card generation. So we add some pairs, add the icons and the CardSOs as well to our game, and generate all the card grid layout and fill up it with the data from the CardSOs. Thank you for watching me. See you next time. Bye.